Hey guys, have a fun activity for you today. Have you create a real life product. This is the coffee sleeve that goes over the hot cups of coffee at Starbucks. Every year they come out with a holiday themed coffee sleeve, and this year we're going to design that. Okay, this is not my idea. I got this off Adobe's Educational Exchange. It's a web service that allows professionals in the industry along with educators to kind of share real life ideas of products that are created in the real world. So if you were going to create this product in the real world, you have the potential for about 120 million of these to be printed each year. So just for the 30-day window between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so the Christmas season, I guess. All right, so we're going to create this today. I have a template for you to use along with some pictures to trace and all that. So go ahead and let's open the template first. So let me get the correct software here. We're going to open up the cup template right there. All right, so when we have that open, we want to show our outline right there. So show that layer, make that layer active, and we're going to apply a gradient to this. So in order to do that, we need to select it on the canvas. So it's selected. And then we're going to go right over here. This is our gradient panel. So click on your gradient panel. It'll bring up this panel, and then just click the radial gradient right there in the middle. And it's going to apply a radial gradient to your template or your outline over here. All right, so once you have that, the colors we want this to have is white on the left, which is already there, and then we want to go with a blue or blue on the right. So go ahead and select that black dot right there, and now we're simply going to pick a blue from our swatches panel and drag it up and drop it on that black circle. Okay, it's going to replace the blue or replace the black with the blue that's there. All right, and this is what the radial gradient we're left with. We can adjust this in a handful of ways. Probably the easiest to start off with is just move this slider a little bit to the left. So move your blue to the left. Oh, I'm gonna take it about 63%. You can see it right down here in that value. So right around 63% gives us that. And we also want to adjust the stretch of this as well. So let's take this to 80% right there. And it's going to make that small adjustment there. So now we're left with the color we want to start out with, and now we're going to create the mountain range that you see in the background there. So I'm going to use my pen tool. So I have my pen tool. I'm going to reset my colors to black and white, start off with no fill, and I'm going to add a layer so it doesn't, oops, it already replaced what was there. Let me add a layer. Now I'm going to whoops. A layer, I need to select that layer, and I'm going to lock that one as well so it doesn't jump on me. Alright, so now I'm on my new layer. I have my pen tool, I'm resetting to black and white, and I'm electing no fill to begin with. So now I'm going to create my first mountain over here to the left. I'm just going to place anchor points there to create my shape. So this is my mountain range right now. I'm going to go ahead and give it a gray fill. Choose a gray. And I'm going to make sure it has no stroke. So that's what I'm left with. Those are my mountains right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and add snow to the caps of each mountain. So delete that little thing. And let me zoom in. And I'll start with the mountain on the right. So anchor point there. And I'm simply going to draw the shape that's going to represent a snow-capped peak. So reset black and white, make sure it has no stroke. And that's what you're left with. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the remaining two peaks. And you can do it like this if you want, or you can go back no fill and do it that way. So that is my second peak, and if I zoom out, that's what I have so far. And let's go ahead and utilize the third peak as well. So zoom in. All right, so we have our snow-capped peaks. That looks good. Now I'm going to recreate the snow area right here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my pen tool, reset to black and white with no fill to start off with. And I am going to place anchor points in the following locations. Excellent. Right there in the corner, make sure you do it right in the middle right here, and then back in this corner, and then up. Okay. By doing that, you'll be able to bend it and match the curvature of the template that's already there. Now go ahead and get your curvature tool. And I didn't do it on the mountain either, so I need to move this down. I'm not on the path. There we go. And move to the right. And bend that path to mimic that shape. I need to do the same thing with this. Let me hide this real quick. Why is it hiding? Doesn't make any sense. Alright, let me move this up. No. Move this one up as well. And also need to move that one. What I'm doing is I forgot to bend the shape of the mountain, so right here I'm bending it up to match the path. And once I have that, come on. That's fine, it's gonna be hidden by the white anyway. Flip those colors around and show this one as well. Alright, so my outwork, that's gonna be reset to, why is it, no, because I don't want that one selected, I want this one selected. Alright, reset to black and white with no fill. And now I can go ahead with my curvature tool and bend my snow just a little bit, okay? And hopefully you guys are getting enough experience with these tools where it's getting really easy to manipulate this tool. Alright, so that's what I have so far. I'm zooming out. I guess I'm zooming in. And it's looking similar to what I had there, although the snow I chose here was a little off-white, so I think I'm going to do the same there. So let me go ahead and select this shape, and I'm going to go to my fill color and take it down to more of the grayish white, that color. Alright, so when I do that, it looks like snow that has settled in for a little bit longer. Alright, so that's what I got so far. Let's see, what should we create next? We have that. Let's go ahead and create the snowflakes we see there. So let me open up Photoshop. So Photoshop, and that one, don't save. Alright, let's go ahead and open the snowflake. I think I put a snowflake in there. Alright, so I put a black snowflake in there for you, which is fine. Let's go ahead and take that snowflake. I guess we didn't even need to bring it in Photoshop. So let me bypass this. I forgot I did that for you. So let me go to File in the menu bar in this document. Come on. File in the menu bar. Let's go to Place. And let's place the snowflake. Alright, so I have this snowflake right there. Let's go ahead and we're going to do something called image trace. So if you go, have the snowflake selected, look up the top and there's image trace. Just go to, there should be a black and white logo right there. Alright, it goes to black and white. Alright, so what it did is it ran an image trace and converted the snowflake to a vector graphic, okay? So instead of being, if we can blow it up as much as we want, it won't become pixelated. Alright, so once we have that, choose your expand button right there. Alright, and it's going to expand it. Now, if you grab your sub selection or direct selection tool right there, that's the second pointer. That's going to allow you to click on the outside of it and hit delete. And it's going to delete those white the white on the perimeter of the snowflake. And we're gonna go through this with all the other parts of the snowflake, direction selection tool, and remove those pieces, all right? So right now, we have a vector graphic, all right, that's image traced and it's ready to go. All right, let's make it white, so let's reset our color to black and white, and let's give it no stroke. And now we can bring our snowflake into our scene, right? And then hold shift with your left hand to size it down. And we've got one snowflake on our canvas, right? Now we're gonna go over to our layer panel over here, where is it hiding? It's not there. Is it in this layer? It is, it's right there. All right, so it's in this, on that layer right there, we have our snowflake. Let's go ahead and select it. And we're gonna go to edit on the menu bar, we're gonna go to copy. And back to edit, and we're gonna choose paste in place right there. We now have a second snowflake that's on our canvas, and we're just gonna go ahead and resize this. Let's make it symmetrical. And let me do the same thing again. So edits, copy, I gotta select it. Edits, copy, edits, paste in place. And I'll move this snowflake to a different location on our canvas, make it bigger. All right, and let's bring in one more snowflake. So let's go select that one, edit, copy, edit, paste in place. We now have a third snowflake that's going to be resized. All right, and we're good to go there. We can always move this snowflake over if we want. All right, so that's what we have on our canvas. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in the Starbucks logo. So let's go to File on the menu bar. Place, we'll go Place. And Starbucks logo. All right, we're gonna place it off the canvas right there. All right, now with our Starbucks logo, it's actually in pretty good shape, so we don't need to image trace this. So I'm gonna just size this down just a little bit. There, that's still too big. And this is going to be our ornament hanging from the sky. It's about there. All right, so we have our Starbucks logo, and now we're going to go ahead and create string, like it's an ornament hanging from the top. So I'm going to position it right in the middle, right there, and now I'm going to zoom in. All right, oops, zoom up just a little bit. Okay, so I have the Starbucks logo right there. Let me go ahead and grab my pen tool and reset the colors to black and white, go and represent no fill right there. So now, right at the middle, right at the top, we're gonna drop an anchor point, and we're gonna go straight down to the logo itself, drop another anchor point, and it creates that line. So now we need to determine how wide we want this string to be. All right, so let's go to our properties right here, and let's try to bump it up to 2 points, stroke size. And it gives us that. So if we click off it, that's what it's looks like, and it looks like it's hanging from the sky like an ornament, right? All right, so let's go ahead and create kind of a bow knot on this. So we're gonna grab actually we're gonna go to our layers. Let me hide some of this stuff, it's a little too busy. So window, properties, don't want swatches right now. Okay, so I got a little more room, and let me get rid of properties as well. Alright, so now I can see my layers. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and we have this path. Let's add a new layer right there so it's not going to attach to it. Alright, so I've got my pen tool. I'm going to go right here. Attached to it anyway. All right, so put your anchor points like that. So boom, boom, boom. If it tries to attach to the original line, hit Command Z to undo it and reposition it. So now, after the fact, I can attach it and it's not going to manipulate the shape. And I'm going to get my curvature tool and start curving this out to look more like a bow, right? So I got that one. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so get my pen tool. I'm going to put it just short so I can go in after the fact with my curvature tool and give myself what I need for the locations. And it did that by itself. It's got a mind of its own right now, folks. Good enough. So now as I zoom out, it looks like it's tied in a bow. And it's actually too big. Go back and do that again. I didn't realize I'm going to make it that big. Good enough. Let me move this up above everything else. Alright, that looks a little better there. That's what I want. So you just saw I adjusted the stacking over in the layer panel and tied the bow to it. Alright, so let's go ahead and call it quits for this part of the activity. And the next video I'm going to show you how to draw the sleigh and the penguin inside. So be right back, guys.